Banasri from Bangalore, and before the stroke, I was working as a software architect in a startup. So on the day of the stroke, after finishing the office work at around 3:30 in the afternoon, I went to the bathroom, and then suddenly I felt that my right hand is not in my control and it's gone numb. And then before I could realize, I fell on the floor. My husband heard the sound and he asked my daughter, "Where is your mother?" And I heard this and I shouted from inside that I fell down, and somehow I managed to open the door also. From I don't know how I managed that, but I opened the door lock, and then I lost my voice. So they came and rescued me and put me on the bed, and I thought that it is my last day. And when I was falling down on the floor, I felt something is getting switched off in my this area, and it's like how you switch off a circuit, like that kind of feeling I got in my this area, and I knew that something is seriously wrong. So I thought it is a stroke basically. So but I couldn't convey it because I was having this I lost my speech totally. Then my elder daughter, she wrote in a paper that if you want to say yes, you do like this, and no means you do like this. And she wrote whether I want to go to the hospital. I said I did like this, and then they immediately took me to the hospital. The nearest hospital is Manipal Hospitals, and they did a very good job during the COVID time, and I got my TPA in the correct that golden window. I got it. So after that, in the hospital next day, I got my voice back. It returned. I did om like that, and it really is. It started coming back like that, and then after 8 days, I got discharged from the hospital. The reason for the stroke they identified is severe anemia. I had this hemoglobin of 6.7, whereas normal is above 12, I think. And after that, I got my voice back, but my hand and leg were totally paralyzed. No movement was there during my hospital stay at least. Then after that, a physio started visiting me. Two physios started visiting me, one in the morning and one in the evening. And slowly I started getting my movements back. And today I can walk without support, a little bit distance in my home. Inside my home I am walking without any stick or support, but it is very slow. I still have a long way to go. And for hand, I practice handwriting and other OT exercises. For hand, I am doing on my own, but a physio still comes in one time at home. And I would like to say everyone that do not ignore any health condition. I used to have severe headaches very frequently, and I used to ignore that. Maybe they were a sign of something wrong in my body, because after my stroke I don't get those headaches. And one more thing I had is I had severe pain in my left leg for 2-3 months. Because of COVID I couldn't show it to the doctor, so maybe that clot was inside my left leg. So this is my stroke experience, and I would like to thank Stroke Support India group for helping the stroke survivors and their caregivers, and they are doing a tremendous job, and I have made many friends in the community, and they are really very supportive, and whenever we can ask for advice, and we get some valuable advice from the group also. And these weekly webinars, they are also quite educating and informative, and sometimes we get ideas from that. So thank you, Stroke Support India. It's a very good platform for stroke survivors and caregivers. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Christopher Gordon and I live in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. I experienced a stroke in October of 2005 that damaged the occipital lobe of my brain and left me legally blind. When I left the hospital, I was referred to the Canadian National Institute for the Blind to get assistance with the blindness and to teach me skills and give me training to learn how to be a person with sight loss. But what I didn't receive was any sort of referral or any sort of direction to get help with the stroke. In fact, to be completely honest, I didn't even know that I had experienced a stroke. The doctor, in ways that many doctors often do, and I wish they would not do this, the doctor used their big medical language and called it a cerebral ischemic infarction. I didn't know what that meant, and yes, I probably should have looked it up, but in those early days, I was probably in shock and didn't know what I didn't know. I didn't know to look it up, and nobody called it a stroke until many years later, and I went, what? Holy wow. If I had known that it was a stroke, I could have looked up help. I could have sought out a group like Stroke Support India that probably would have made my recovery very different. Now, I was lucky. I did have a connection to a psychiatrist who helped me talk through everything that had happened, but even he never used the word stroke. And I never thought of it as a stroke because I thought that that was something that only happened to older people, not to a person like me who was in his mid-30s. So I didn't even know to look for that. That's why I'm really glad that Stroke Support India exists, so that people who experience a stroke or the family members who are looking after somebody who has experienced a stroke have a resource to talk to others who get it, and have a resource to exchange ideas and ask questions and find out from the experience of others things that they might not have thought to ask or didn't even know existed for them. So I encourage everyone who has either experienced a stroke or who is helping somebody who has experienced a stroke to tap into groups like Stroke Support India to get help from people who've been down the path that you're on. That's everything I wanted to share in this video, and I want to thank you very much for watching. Please take care of yourselves, and I hope you have a wonderful day.
Hello all, greetings. My name is Suresh and I'm an academic researcher in public health and disability working for the Public Health Foundation of India. I strive to support stroke survivors and their caregivers globally to enjoy an enhanced good quality of life despite the disabling and devastating consequences of stroke that they experience. Stroke has been the second leading cause of death and disability worldwide for the past 30 years. And it is of immense importance that stroke survivors, their carers, families, stroke care providers, including neurologists, physicians, rehabilitation specialists like occupational therapists, physiotherapists, speech language pathologists, social workers, rehabilitation nurse and rehabilitation engineers, even policy makers and program managers, as well as stroke support organizations, get together and strategically work towards reducing the growing burden of stroke and enhance the quality of life of those who have survived a stroke globally. In India, we have this wonderful network of stroke survivors and their families called Stroke Support India. Please do connect with Stroke Support India and be supported, and to support people affected by stroke in India especially. Thank you.